Hello dear viewer, I'm leesusss and welcome back to Colony Survival and the sweatiest place in the entire colony, where they work very hard making all the various ingots and things, and they're really struggling at the moment. We're having trouble keeping up with the demand at the moment, particularly of things like gold. They've started hammering upstairs, so I guess they've got some gold, but this is delayed expansion over here at the factory, and this lot are whinging because they want to make more gold items, and there's a lack of gold. This poor fella was too slow, didn't grab enough of the ingots, and missed out. Oh no, he's got started. There you go, well done. Anyway, not uncommon. I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the day now. The guys downstairs are just managed to catch up with the demand on other ingots, and they get hardly a chance to make any gold ones. But we're going to resolve all this by reducing some of this stress from now on. Okay, so first of all, what we were doing at the end of the last episode was we were crawling towards some of these higher level techs on here, and one of the things I was most worried about was steel parts, and I was concerned that we had to put the metal lathe in, increase the colony points up to 10,000, thereby increasing the threat, and in fact we're already up to 8,600 because I've been creeping extra bronze chests in to increase the capacity before we can do the steel lock boxes over here. And then I realised something, that we actually have steel components in-house, which I'm quite surprised about. Where are they? There's a handful. There we go. Steel parts down here. They're made in the copper anvil. Now I'm sure it's not as efficient as the metal lathe, but these lovely boys over here have been making some anyway. I thought they were going to make us have to have the lathe and say, you know, that mild steel isn't good enough. You're going to have to have high quality steel, and therefore you're going to have the lathe in place before you can have steel parts. But no, they can just make them at an inefficient level. We'll just have a quick look at that, by the way. How much steel does it cost? Steel ingot to make one lot of steel parts, 195.1 seconds. I don't think we'll be able to find out here. 25 seconds. So a massive reduction. Much faster to use the lathe. But we don't have to make the lathe. We nick us to the lathe. We don't need it. What we can do is go immediately into steel lock boxes, because we've got the steel parts. So we need brass precision parts, steel parts, and steel ingots to make this thing. So let's unlock this now, and then when they decide to wake up in the morning, they can start making the steel lock boxes immediately. Now remember, the steel lock box means that we can have 2,500 colony points capacity, huge amount, at only 25 threat. That means to reach 10,000 that we need for the musket, and also for the blast furnace and everything else, we only listen to explosion in the distance, and also this thing as well. If we want to make it, we only need 4 lock boxes. So 4 lock boxes at how much was it again? 25. That's 100 threat. As it is right now, to have 8,600 points, we have not all of them here. Where's all my brass ones? Down here somewhere, or bronze ones, or whichever ones they are. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got at least about 13 of these. So that's 13. That's 130 threat. So we reduce that down to at least 100 threat for more points. So that's an overall benefit, isn't it? But anyway, let's wait for these guys to make the steel chests in the morning, and we can go start installing some. Here we are, looking over the beautiful sights from Big Effin' Tree. Why am I here? Well, because if you remember, when I built some of these first outposts, I thought it'd be nice, you know, some of them to have like a little reminder of home, which doesn't really need to be here. I think this is an extra storage for sacred points, this thing here. But anyway, and also while I was here, what am I doing? I'm just firing my gun wildly. I thought it'd be nice to have some like valuable chests here as well, which really, as usual, most of these things is making more work for myself later. I don't need to have that here at all. What I can do is replace these with a single lockbox. I've already taken some away at the back at the home base, and I can then hurl these into the sea, and there we go. We now have 6,600 points for a lot less threat. Is what I'm hoping for here. No, don't put a second one down. We don't need a second one. The other place I need to do this is at Roanoke. You can do that as well. And while I'm here, let's give them a little step up. Places like this, they still are, you know, out in the wilds. This is one of the furthest one, I think, from the main base. So I keep everything fairly simple here. So they've all got, you know, like straw topped huts and everything else. Everything's fairly simple around here, but they give them a little splash of civilization by let's give them some fancy lanterns on top of their little shrine thing here as well. There we go. That's not bad, is it? Anyway, right, now over to Roanoke to do the same thing there. Flipping it. Talk about getting here the hard way. Would have nearly broken my leg once trying to come up with this bloody place. Anyway, we need to build this tower taller as well, so you can use the glider, the better glider, and get the chance. Oh god, I have built this so I can't easily get in. Well, you are very close to the edge, sir. Anyway, we're doing fine, I think, apart from the broken legs. Over here, I think we've got a couple more steel lock boxes. I'm pretty sure I had. Oh, there's one, two. Was that it? Did I only put 2 in? Well, that's good, I guess. I think that wasn't being too daft. Anyway, let's throw those into the ocean. Then, how are we doing here? So we have 8,100 points, but we haven't got any more steel lock boxes. Maybe they're out of parts. What are you guys out of? What are you guys short on? Maybe you need more steel parts. Or more brass parts take a while. I don't know. We'll find out when we get back to home base. But we only need like 2 more chests. 1 more in theory, just to get 10,000 points that we need for the next most demanding level of tech. Although of course the next thing is steel, which we don't need that much for. Blast furnace rather. And but we could do a 2, so we can throw out the old lock boxes and reduce the threat even further. Which at the moment the threat level is about the same as it has been. It hasn't gone anywhere, but we've gained. We've got more. We're gonna have more points by the end of it. That's the game. Yeah, the slowdown right now is the brass precision parts, because my goodness, they take a long time to make. I'm presuming that the lathe will improve that as well. Is it actually going to say on here? We must be able to make these things faster than they are. Yeah, they will. They'll make them a lot faster. But we won't do that yet. That's a big demand. We've got enough smiths working on this. While we're here, let's do something else that we've got to get started before we get onto finally the guns. We want to improve the steel manufacturing. So we're going to, despite the increase in threat, we're going to do it now. Okay. Steel blast. I'm presuming this is going to get made in the advanced job crafters block. Although I think I have caused a problem here, which is that I suspect it's going to need steel parts, and the steel parts need to be going into the chests as well. That was possibly a silly mistake for me, but we can always adjust this. Where's the advanced job crafters? There, he's the one down here. Okay, we're going to put this off for now. We're going to put it onto a 1. It needs steel and precision parts as well. Okay, we're going to hold off on this, and we'll come back once the 2 chests are completed. Okay? Okay, excuse me, jewelers. I'm just going to put in the last one. So we now have 10,100 colony points, which means we can unlock any of the science we have here at the moment. But what we're really after, of course... Oh, we're after steel tools. What we're really after is muskets. Yeah, what do we need for that? We need more science chests. Okay, we'll get to those. They're being worked on. We need a load more colony points but that is fine. We'll work up to that. In the meantime, what we need to do is turn on blast furnace production under the advanced job. I know you all want brass parts. We'll do it in a minute, guys. What's that? Regular chests. Okay, we're making more. Do we really need more luxury chests right now? No, we're working on science chests a priority. Excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, we need quite a few of these. Get working on those, please. Blast furnaces. Right. You lot just work as fast as you can. There's a lot of smiths around here now. We're going to put the first blast furnace, which is going to take how long? How long is it going to take, guys? Hello? Excuse me? Didn't even look at that. Not terrible. 117 seconds. Not too bad. Once they've got the parts, they're missing some of the parts. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in down here in the sweaty room when we're ready to go. Oh my god, we're nearly there. The trouble is, a lot of things are using brass parts right now. I really am going to have to shell out on that lathe before long. I mean, we've gained because the threat level's about the same, but we've got more points to spend now. But I really want to get that steel thing, that steel blast furnace working down here any second now. I hope it's not too tall. I don't actually know how tall it is. It's probably a too high block. But I don't know. Where is it? Have you dropped it off? There it is. Blast furnace. What's my spacing like over here? Like this, I think, isn't it? There you go. Nice. Nice and neat. We'll do the usual. Well, we'll get someone down here for a start. There we go. We'll get our first inaugural blast furnace person down here. What do we need? The usual layout. So I've been trying to be neat around here. I've been laying these out for efficiency. And of course the OCD starts to set in as far as how you do things. So let's put the that one there, match the others, and then like that. There we go. Okay, first person. Now, blast furnace. What is blast furnace? Well, let's not kid ourselves now. I don't know much about blast furnacing or steel making or anything else. I know a little bit, but only what I've investigated into these things and what I vaguely remember. So if I say something wrong here, don't hate me too much. But essentially, the blast part here is a blast of air, because what you're trying to do here is you're trying to melt the iron to then mix the carbon in and to make steel. Now this is up until now we've been using the bloomeries to do this. You can make mild steel in bloomeries, but the problem is it's very wasteful. So up here, what we're using right now for a reminder is we're going to smash this down to 0. We don't want steel through here anymore. Steel through here is wrought iron plus an iron bloom plus silica and glass, which is again silica, and then charcoal. And I'm not quite sure what the silica does, but the glass does. Something to do with like impurities or some other factor in there. I don't know, but there you go. Charcoal is for the carbon, and then you've got the iron, wrought iron and the iron bloom in there. Now in comparison with that down here, with the steel blast furnace, we should lose half the iron. Oh, we can actually make iron blooms down here as well. Wow. Oh, I like that. Okay, we'll change that upstairs. I didn't see that. That's interesting to know. It makes sense. So steel ingot, we only need 1 iron bloom, some silica and coke. So we don't need the silica for some sort of impurity factor in there as well. And we need cokes, which we'll come onto in a minute. So this is interesting because, I mean, if you really want to look into steel making and things like that, because there's many different sorts of steel, what's quite interesting is if you go online, you can actually find these guide cards. I saw one that was like a circular card, and it will tell you, okay, what sort of steel do you want to make? You're after stainless steel, you're after hardened steel, you're after different values of steel and different quantities and everything else for different purposes. And the card tells you what you need to mix in there, the other components like silica, like lime, and other things that you put in there to make the different. What was the one for stainless? Cobalt? No, maybe boron. I can't remember. Anyway, you can make these other and it tells you what need to be. Now, not the exact quantities you need to put in there. That's where the skill lies. But it tells you, oh, these are the things that you need to make this. Well, why is that green and that one's white? just noticed that. Why is the... Okay, maybe just how I selected it. That was funny. I wondered why for a second why that was coloured in. Anyway, as much as possible, by the way, of this. And we need quite a bit of that as well. Yeah. Okay, we just need some machine tools to keep this thing functioning. Have we got another one already, do you reckon? I hope we do. We're going to switch them out as fast as we can. We're putting most of the steel through here. In fact, the bloomeries now serve another purpose. But I can't switch them over too hard because I need a regular... I can't move them all across. Maybe there's none here. Maybe we haven't got the parts for it. Yeah, we probably don't have the precision parts to make it yet. Consumables, defense. Where's the job blocks? Oh, another one. There we go. We've got another one coming in. Good. Okay, they're getting on with it. They're getting it moving. And we'll get another person down here. And then the same thing again. We want... That's the wrong section, me. We want that. We want one of these. And we want one of these. Okay, so what was the rule again? We have... No, we want that. And then we want this. And then these guys can use it as well. And then that from there. There we go. Okay. So I saw the iron bloomers being made in there as well. And of course that would make sense. You can make iron in a blast furnace. It's a far more efficient way to do it. It's far faster. However, what do we do with the bloomeries then? Well, the most important thing about the bloomeries now is we'll reduce this down to that. We're now making coke in here. Okay, so coke is one of the most important things. We talked about coke before, about the fact that coal is variable. Coal is not the same everywhere. You've got different sorts of coal, you know, lignite and things like this is one of the ones that immediately springs to mind. But coal has a different quality depending on where it's dug up from, what it was made from originally, the format that it was, how it was made, how much pressure was applied upon it, and everything else. You know, different levels of volatiles and other factors around it. And when you're trying to do something precise, like making steel or anything else, you don't want variability like that. You want constancy, and that is not what you're getting with coal. You know, you have to bear in mind, okay, where did this batch of coal come from, and which level in the seam and everything else. So what you do is you take coal and you heat it through various processes. You get off all those volatiles until you get this porous, high quality coke, which is mostly carbon and not much of anything else. And if you make it in a regular way each time, through skill and everything else, or engineering in our case, you get a very regular material that you know will perform in the same way every single time you use it for example, making steel. So making coke, we make a lot of coke out of this, out of one lot of coal, which again makes sense. It would be nice, I think, would be also if you made oils out of this as well, or something else, because you'd expect that. You don't just, you burn off some of the stuff you don't need, but some of the remaining materials from turning coal into coke you would be able to use in other things. So for example, the machine oils we're using in the alchemy benches, I think some of those should come out of here. But I guess it would be too much of a jump to machine oils, which are a finished product. What you want is like a raw fluid that, you know, the alchemy guys upstairs in here use to make into machine oils. So I guess, yeah, we don't want to cut too many bits there. Also, we don't need so many of these glass furnaces now either. We need less of them. We need lots of coke is what we need. So we're going to repurpose these guys into making into more bloomeries. And of course, the bloomeries will also be more efficient because we don't... what sort of blocks are these again? Which bricks are these? The red bricks, I think. These ones? Or are they the wrong colour? No, those are the wrong colour. Those are the ones I use for the chimney. These are regular brick, aren't they? Light bricks? No. These bricks, aren't they? Yeah, there they are. Like that. Okay, we still need some glass production, but not as much as we had. And also it was ugly the way it was a combination between, you know, bloomeries on two sides and glass furnaces on the other. So before the day ended, do you reckon we got one more out? One more thingy came out? What do you reckon? One more blast furnace? No. We're sure we'll have one soon. Okay, so yes, and again the way that yeah, that makes sense the way it's turned around. Yes, the way this is being made, yeah, it makes sense that you can make iron in here and far more easily, and it uses iron and cokes, this uses steel instead of the cokes. So remember I was complaining before about charcoal. I was saying this was using charcoal. So in fact, what is the use for... I was hoping that, you know, charcoal would be used for other things. But now all we're doing here... Am I crazy to do that? How much stock have we... I wonder if I'm going too far by reducing all that and telling these to stop making iron. I might be shooting myself in my own foot, if you like. That wasn't the word I was thinking of, but shooting myself in my own foot by doing that too soon. We've got a lot of iron here, haven't we? We've got a lot of spare iron. I don't know. Let's not rush on that. We'll keep on working this down. We'll have less and less of the iron coming out of here and more out of the other thing. In fact, we'll drop the priority down. There you go. How about that? Down to there. Yeah, so what are we using charcoal for now? Because I think the only use for charcoal right now was this. I wanted charcoal to be used for other food sources. Are these guys using charcoal? Yeah, this lot are using charcoal. So we need some. But less. Yeah, I mean you could use charcoal to make coke as well. But there we go. Right, okay. So, before the video ends, where are we at now? Because I think we can do this as well. We need some more science chests. We need a little bit more points as well. So I think what I'd like to finish the video on unlocking guns, the muskets. Or maybe we'll just start the next video. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll just start the next video. By the way, these guys I also unlocked while I was away. I unlocked the science of making locally sourced animal carcasses, which I only make a small number of, but I seem to have a lot of spare... Well, I haven't got so much spare chicken anymore, but occasionally these guys turn some of the chicken, spare chicken, into carcasses, so I'm no longer going to buy leather for this lot. Now, what do we do here? If I sell a couple more of these... There we go. 10,006 points. We can unlock the muskets once we get the science chests. And then we'll finish the video. And we'll talk about muskets and guns and things. And start getting people equipped. Next video. How about that? Uh-oh, I'm going to have to expand the factory again. I've run out of room for all my blast furnaces downstairs. Never mind. That's fine. We will work on that. In the meantime, though, as we finish, muskets are done. Larger range, quick to read it. We'll look at that later. Okay. I think we made a lot of progress in this video here. Next episode, guns, which is nice, and then once we've started distributing said firearms, we will start doing some of the things like the metal lathe and other bits and pieces. And finally, yes, we will of course eventually get onto trains and things like that. So that's the plan for the future. But things need to catch up here. Okay, we're stretching the resources a little bit. Although we can now make guns, we need to get them kick-started a little bit. But I'll tell you what's happening with that and what efficiencies there are and how much damage we can do with these new weapons next video. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again next time.